Uh, there we
I
go.
think we got him. Rashi, you there, mate?
I am here.
Awesome.
Fantastic. So, in our lovely chat here for this interview with FillyGamez, creators of Welcome to Ponyville, we've got Writer's Block as well as Rashi Dash. So, why don't I guess we'll start with Writer's Block and then go to Rashi, and you guys sort of explain who you are, what you do for the game, and then explain what it is.
All right. I'm a Writer's Block. I'm one of the two project leads for Welcome to Ponyville and FillyGamez. Essentially, what I do for the game is I'm the writer, co-producer, director. I handle all the public relations and advertising, and do a little bit of editing, but not too much, and all the scripting in-game as well. Rashi?
I program the engine and basically give Writer's Block some help with scripting.
He's the tech guy, basically.
Trust me, it's a full-time job with him.
Oh, yeah. Lua is so much fun. He's being modest. He built the engine from scratch. Anything technical goes through this guy.
Very nice, very nice. So, why don't you tell us what is Welcome to Ponyville?
Well, Welcome to Ponyville is a story-based adventure game, aka visual novel, that has a very unique system to it that's a little different than any other game I think that's out there right now. What our game does is it basically puts you, the player, as the new pony in Ponyville with a custom set storyline, actually two main storylines that you'll get to interact with. But what really makes this game unique is that we have over 50 plus characters for you to interact with and involve yourself with quests with. And every decision you make in our game is actually going to change the game in itself. We have what we call the friendship system, which is an invisible tracking system inside the game. Friendship is indeed magic. Everything you do in the game will earn you points, either being a hero or a nemesis. And those points will accumulate and allow you to handle crisis situations when they show up in the game. And everything you do in those situations can change the entire story of the game. And can also change two of the main storylines, as well as each sub-story, which each character themselves is a sub-story, as well as a romantic sub-storyline, that for whatever reason has proven to be the most popular thing we have. It's a very small part of the game, but the one we get the most questions about. Totally optional, by the way. A lot of people complained about it. It's completely optional. You don't have to do it. There's no penalty for that. But the main idea of the game just being that you get to live your life in Ponyville, and the decisions you make will actually shape the world. If all goes well, this should never be the same game twice.
That sounds incredible.
Sounds pretty awesome. I can't wait. For those that are just joining us, if you are listening, we do have a chat that you can partake in. If you head over to ponify.me/chat, or you can go to any IRC client and go to irc.canternet.org as the server and join the room Celestia Radio, all lowercase, no spaces, and chat it up with us. So we've got a decent amount of listeners now. I think we've got about 80 listeners, and we are chatting it up here with FillyGamez. Glad to have them on. And just put out a Twitter thing here a second ago. But I guess first, we're just gonna delve into all things of the game. Hopefully we can have quite a few things we can discuss. I know there's probably some things there's not too much we can go into detail about, but I guess first off, let's just get out in the open. What sort of characters are we looking at to be in the game?
Well, when we originally created the game, I was asking Rashi, what characters do you want me to put in the game? And he goes, all of them. So I thought he was joking at first, and then he reiterated, no, I want everyone that's feasible to be in this game be in there. So I said, okay, I can write stories for all characters that come into the show, background and main six. Sure, why not? So quite literally, almost every character you can think of will be in there, minus a handful of smaller ones that very rarely ever come into play. An example of some of the less seen characters that will be in the game would be like Nurse Redheart, of course Lyra, Bonbon, Cloud Chaser, so many of them. There's Keymark Crusaders, of course, the main six, naturally. Spike, Octavia, and Vinyl Scratch. And here's a treat for anyone out there who's a fan of the Vinyl Scratch tapes from Midnight Magic Productions. We are partnered with them, and we are actually using the personas created by Corey W. Williams, the lead writer of Vinyl Scratch tapes, for both Vinyl and Octavia. So if you enjoyed their antics in the Vinyl Scratch tapes, you can actually directly experience those antics in-game. Only change being that Vinyl and Octavia in the game are made single to be available to the player. So the various villain characters will show up. A few of our own design, just to come into the game. We'll have more about that coming out soon. The only villain I can actually publicly confirm is going to be in the game will be Chrysalis. I'm sure everyone's happy for her. Celestia and Luna, of course, are in the game with a couple of treats with them. For Sithisto, Trixie's in the game. And we actually have a few cameo appearances. Sithisto himself is in the game. His OC is in the game as a fairly key part, kind of an Easter egg, but he's a key part of the game. He's not voicing himself. He chose not to do that. But we have something fun planned up with him right now. I think you guys are really going to enjoy. Fodelay is going to be in there. Diamond Tiara will have a brief scene in there. Filthy Rich. Maybe even the Madden pony from the episode where he does a Sonic Rainboom, the announcer, he'll be there. Not a very major role, but he will be there. Trying to include as many as we can, most of which are very significant to the story in their own way. And each of them have their own different bonuses depending on how you treat them. I just got finished actually this week writing in Granny Smith and Big Macintosh, and also Brayburn will be in the game. An example of some of the stallions that will be in the game, as Friendship is Magic is a 95% female character-inclusive world. So stallions will be like Big Macintosh, Brayburn, and of course Soren, and a few others. Shining Armor for all you mares out there that wish to play the game.
Are we going to see Blue Blood?
Blue Blood, I have not thought about that. I've put thought into it. We have a voice actor who you might be familiar with from the Vinyl Scratch tapes, Great Din, who does an absolutely terrific Blue Blood. I may very well have him come into the game just because he does such a fantastic job, and I know a lot of fans of Vinyl Scratch tape would really enjoy him showing up. So I'm definitely going to try to do that.
Yeah, we and for those that were listening earlier, those that just now showed up, we are premiering the Vinyl Scratch Tapes episode 4 is finally coming out tomorrow evening. That'll be during QCOM set between 6 and 9 Central Daylight Time. That's 7 to 10 for you Easterners, and GMT, that's like midnight to 3 a.m. Sometime in there, and that is the one that premieres Blue Blood. So be excited about that. It's going to be great. But yeah, we had Vinyl Scratch Tapes on a little earlier for Brony Fanfare because they're special guests, and we're happy to. I have to say both. We're happy to have them in the game, and we're happy to be in the game since I am one of the people that's in the Vinyl Scratch Tapes as the narrator.
Yes, you're actually in our latest promotional trailer. Actually, a little teaser out there that's on both the Vinyl Scratch Tapes channel and ours on YouTube.
Yes, people should go check that out. Was a kind of hilariously fun little sort of a teaser market trailer, and it's not often that people let me do my speed narrator announcing stuff. So I was really happy because I got to do that little warning section at the end there, and so that was a lot of fun. But hope we do more stuff like that. I really like that. Do we know?
Like to put a...
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We definitely would like to put, I know you and I have discussed putting an excerpt from Celestia Radio in the game. We'd love to do that, as we're doing something like that already with the Vinyl Scratch tapes. We'd love to do that with you guys as well, and just so everybody out there knows about that. We're definitely going to try to have some little cameos and some Easter eggs like that for everybody. It's part of the idea of the game, is it's a game generally, with the idea being a game for bronies by the brony community. We really don't deserve very much credit for this because the ideas are all inspired by all of you, and as such, we want to take those ideas, put them into something for the community, and give them something to play. Give them something they can enjoy. And that's really what we're trying to do. And Celestia Radio, a huge part of the community, so they just have to be there. It just makes sense.
Well, we're happy to be there, and I don't remember if I had announced this before to the listening community, but we are working on a sort of an affiliation, a partnership, if you will, with Philly Games, and you'll see
Fantastic.
as soon as our website, which we're undergoing some very heavy website changes, I believe this weekend and possibly into next week. As soon as we get everything redesigned and everything redone, some help from Sean, known as Zacho, one of the musicians, is helping us with that. And as soon as that's done, we're going to put up our buttons, both from Brony Fanfare and Philly Games, will be up on the website. Link to those websites and stuff is official affiliates of Celestia Radio, and we're going to have some ads on Celestia Radio with Philly Games and some really neat commercial trailers and stuff. And I'm happy to have that going on and have some fun sort of broadcasting collaboration, because you and I have talked a lot. You're also sort of have an affinity for mass communication, right?
Yes, sir. We actually we've set up actually quite a few co-ops and partnerships. As I mentioned, we are partnered with Vinyl Scratch Tapes. The podcast, The Lightning Round, which is Rashy here does the editing for that, and does a fantastic job. And Lightning, the host, really makes a pretty entertaining show. I'd recommend checking that out. In addition, we do cooperate, and we share some things with My Little Investigations, Equestrian Dreamers, MLP Online. We affiliate with Equestria Terminal. And we have, I don't know if I'd call it a partnership, but it's definitely a strong cooperation with Sophisto over at Equestria Daily.
Yes, yes. And I think it's great that there's so much collaboration and stuff going on, and I'm really excited to see what there is to come and what stuff we can work on for the game and things. I know at one time we had talked about maybe it was going to be a sort of a shot in the dark, but possibility of trying to integrate some sort of a stop play, sort of a flash player thing, maybe that was able to hook up with a stream, with a shoutcast stream or an icecast stream. I'm not sure if we were still. I guess Rashy, maybe that'd be a better question for you, since you're doing
it would be
technical stuff. Is that still a feasibility, or is that something that's going to be pretty difficult to pull off?
I don't actually know. It sounds like it'd be possible.
So the answer is very easily maybe.
I'd have to look into it. Definitely
yes.
Maybe.
Definitely maybe. My favorite. Definitely maybe. But and of course we obviously would probably have to assist in that, since we have all the information and stuff on that craziness in our flash player and how that stuff works. I don't know. It's technical things that are computery, and there's sound that goes in one hole and it comes out the other, so that's all I know. Giggity. But I think we've got some questions that I'm starting to get in here from the chat. If you guys would send me questions at /MSG space Twix, like my favorite kind of candy, and then do another space and type in your question, and I will get it in my little inbox thingy here on IRC, and I will certainly read those questions back. And one of the questions, which of course is sort of a default here at Celestia Radio, we have so many people obsessed with Derby and so many people obsessed with muffins that they must know, for each of you, what is your favorite muffin?
Blueberry.
I can't remember the name of it. I had a really, really good muffin a few months back, but I can't remember the name of it. I think it was like a lemon poppy seed or something like that. And it was delicious.
Yes, a good one. That's one I haven't heard in a while, anyway. Blueberry, though, very popular muffin flavor.
Spoiler alert: you may get to have muffins with Derpy in the game. I can't say, but it might happen.
Did you hear that, Derpy muffins? Is your shit
man,
rocked?
There's a pretty high chance you get to have muffins with Derpy.
We can neither confirm nor deny the high probability that is possible within the game of you having muffins with Derpy. Let's see. Can we... okay, so Skoogles, who I think is a fan of the game, asks, can we expect a full list of the VAs involved with the game and which characters they are voicing? That sounds like a question that is a definite answer, but not at this present time. I'm not sure.
I can answer. I couldn't remember everyone off the top of my head, but I can definitely give a few names out there if you'd like.
Yes, please.
We have from Celestia Radio, from Vinyl Scratch Tapes. We've got pretty much their entire voice acting team. Robot Butterfly, who does a handful of voices for us, most notably Lyra. Does a fantastic Lyra. It's entertaining. It's great to listen to. We have Wolfie, who does Octavia, a very proper, splendid Octavia. Hannah, who does their Vinyl Scratch. We've got some fairly famous, popular people for the game. We've got Miss Bunny Swan, who does Sweetie Belle and Rarity for us. We've got Rena Chan, who's doing Trixie, Princess Cadence, Colgate, and Princess Luna. She's doing quite a few. We've got some first-time voice actors. We didn't want to choose just nothing but from the best. We want to definitely, as this is a community game, we want to give the community a chance to be part of it. So we chose some first-time voice actors, like a gentleman named Schlumpy, who does a fantastic Brayburn and Big Macintosh. Have Mayu Zamiki, who does a couple of voices for us. I can't quite remember who. I don't have the list in front of me at this moment. Sorry. A gentleman named AR, who does a very good Shining Armor for us. Even though he's not a very large part of the game, he's still there. Hannah, who does, again, Vinyl Scratch, will also be playing Derpy for us. We have John Rayborn, who does, I believe he does Filthy Rich on the Dirty Diamond Tiara tumbler.
Mm-hmm. I believe that's Vicky's fiance / husband.
You are correct. He's also the conductor in the game. He'll be the first voice you ever hear unless you play the tutorial. So that'd be a lot of fun for everybody. Some familiar voices in there. We've also got. Give me just a moment. Actually, I can pull up something a little bit more official to look at it here. Because unfortunately, we have literally over about 30 voice actors and actresses. Dang. So I'm afraid memorizing them off the top of my head is not the easiest thing for me to do.
Quite a cast.
Our entire team probably makes up over 40 people, actually. We want to make sure that we want to make sure whatever it is we do is good for the community, and we have a plethora of testers making sure that this thing doesn't have any grammar errors, spell errors, things like that, which after you've been scripting a scene for 4 or 5 hours become quite common. Let me run through this right quick. Also, if anyone's familiar with 47's Miu Miu, she's also playing. She's playing Sapphire Shores for us. I recommend checking out her channel. She's got some terrific music on there.
Oh, wow! Yeah. Musician, excellent musician.
Oh, we have quite a handful of extraordinarily gifted musicians. We have from the Doctor Who show. I'm sure everyone's heard of this guy, the Jam Jar, who plays Doctor Who's for us, and a few other various characters. Some of which of the villainous nature. Got Shelby doing Celestia for us. Oh my gosh, the list kind of just continues going. Great Din, of course, playing Soren and Blue Blood for us. We got a first-time actress named Liliana who's doing Rose and does a beautiful Rose. She also plays one of the most convincing Gildas I've ever heard, and it was very fascinating with her because she herself had never actually seen the show, and right off the bat did Gilda's voice spot on. So that was especially fantastic. And that list can kind of go on for a while, so I don't want to bore everybody with just all that. But if I forgot anyone on the team that's listening, I do apologize, guys. I'm not trying to shut anybody out.
You can just jump in the chat and bitch ass at us a little bit, and we'll make sure.
They do it to me all the time. They'll love it. Everyone loves a chance to yell at the boss,
right? And
I know I do.
Someone let's see. Okay, someone said something in chat. I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, so Schlumpy? Is it Schlumpy? Something?
Yes.
Okay, they're in the chat. Were they one of the people you listed? I don't remember.
Yeah, he is one of our voice actors, actually. He plays Big Macintosh and Brayburn.
Right, let me just right-click, and anybody who's sort of guest or related is put up on the thing there. This is the second interview for those that are just now coming in. This is the FillyGamez interview. I have a voice, he says. Let me scroll through these questions really quickly. Someone asked about Derpy a second ago. We said that was Vicky, right?
No, Derpy's being played by Hannah, who does Vinyl Scratch. The Vinyl Scratch tapes.
I get them mixed up all the time.
So do I. Don't tell them that.
Okay, let's hope they're not listening.
I know they are. I'm looking at the team chat right now.
Let's see. People, if you officially want the question asked, you're gonna just have to /message space. Uh-oh, I think she heard me. Twix and then space and then enter your question. I will kill you when I see you in Austin, she tells me. Oh man, I've got it coming.
Good luck, mate.
So that's going to be interesting. I don't think I can, with my huge beard, avoid being seen. I don't think it'll happen. But yeah. So can we expect? What did someone just ask?
If you'd like, I have a question that someone posted on our website I'd like to address as well when we get a free moment.
Sure, let's go for it right now.
All right. Someone actually posted on our website and asked us, where do we get the idea for the game? Like, what was the inspiration for it? And that's actually a very funny story. It was about beginning of the year. Rashi, he and I have been friends for about 10 years. He tells me, hey, we should make a game. I thought he was joking at first, and then after a while he kept saying we should. I said, okay, let's make a game. And at this time, he had just gotten me into the fandom. I just started watching the show, and he goes, we should make a game about ponies. Well, okay, cool, let's make a game about ponies. So we actually drew up some ideas, and our first ever idea was actually we should make we should go back on the SNES style and make a pony cart game. We looked it up that day, and it was already being done. Like, okay, that looks amazing. Let's not touch that. We decided we were going to do some kind of SNES graphic games. We thought about pumping out. And Rashi actually began working on an engine for one, which we still have. And what happened with that was because it was all technical, I didn't have anything to do. And he goes, hey, mate, why don't you go ahead and just start writing a story up, and I'll create a small little visual novel engine, and we can make that. I said, okay, cool. So originally the game was designed to be something that might take an hour or two to play, something small and quick just to kind of get our name out there. And as I started writing the story to the game, I told him, hey, can you make the engine do this? Okay, cool. Now make it do this. Now make it do this. Now make it do this. And we kept adding features to the engine until we had this incredibly complex idea and just very, very interesting tracking system and the ability to control all kinds of different elements within the game. And we decided, for the heck of it, let's just make a video about it, a tech demo, and put it online and see what happens. We were absolutely overwhelmed by the positive response that we got. Immediately people started asking, hey, can we be part of this? What do you guys need? Can we come talk to you? Please keep making more videos. So after that, we stopped production and everything else. Like, dude, I was like, mate, this is our thing. This is all we should be doing right now. And since that moment, in about February, I believe, February, March-ish, it took over as our main project, and it's just exploded since then. We've been amazed at how much popularity we've gained, how many people are actually messaging us on a daily basis, asking us for updates, the people we've gotten to meet along the way, and we hope to keep doing it. We hope to make this game bigger and better for everyone out there. It's our gift to the community. We want everyone to enjoy it. This is our way of saying thank you to the Brony community for being so amazing, being so supportive, and just being 20% cooler than any other fandom in the world.
True facts. Yes. Period, exclamation mark at the end of that. Oh, man. Okay, so, I do have some questions. Will you be releasing the demo you had at BronyCon online?
Ooh, we will not be. However, since that demo, in all honesty, there was a lot of confusion with BronyCon. We were not really told what we needed to do. The demo was cut with a very rusty spork, is what we used to cut that demo out with.
Oh, wow.
So it was very, very rough, very unpolished. We just wanted to give everyone a taste of what was to come. Luckily, since then, we've got an audio engineer, Xtrav, who is an amazingly good audio engineer, who's come through, and he's fixed virtually all of our audio problems we had. We had a lot of problems with characters were quieter than others. He's fixed all of that for us. It's been fantastic. The BronyCon demo will not be released. However, Act 1, as the game will be released in acts, Act 1 being a little shorter than what we'd hoped, but we want everyone to have something before the summer ends. Act 1 is coming soon. I can't quite give a date on that yet, but it is coming.
Can we say when before it will be released? Like, can we list like no later than?
Well, I can tell you this much. While we were at BronyCon, when I met Sithisto, and he pitched me the idea of creating something that he said people love to see this kind of media. And I told him, okay, that's what everybody likes to see. Let's do that. So literally that night I got back to the hotel room, I started writing up our next promotion, the next thing we could do to announce the download of Act 1. We've had that in production for about 3 weeks now. We've got some terrific musicians working on it right now, waiting on that to finish up. Stars in Autumn and Cyril the Wolf working on it, both Balloon Party artists, both just fantastically good. Their music is amazing. Please check it out.
I love Cyril. He's a good friend.
He's actually making some work for us, and his guitar riffs are amazing. I've compared him to, if anyone's familiar with the Guilty Gear music, I think he's on par with that, and their guitar work is amazing. But so we will have something very soon coming out to tell you all when Act 1 is coming and what's going to go on with that. We've been building something very special. We're taking a lot of time with it to make sure that it is polished perfectly and looks good for everyone. So it is coming. It's all I can say right now is it should be coming out very, very soon.
All right. Well, we like to hear that, even though somewhat ambiguous, but very soon is good. Very soon is good. Let's see. For the Lonely Brony, who just joined us, the game we were talking about is Welcome to Ponyville, created by FillyGamez.com. And they will...
fantastic website.
Yes, fantastic website. It's very dark, as well as, I believe, orange text, if I remember correctly. Something like that.
There's some orange, some gray, and there's probably some colors in there somewhere. I think there's ponies on there. I'm pretty sure.
Some Halloween-y colors. I like that. I like to see that. My favorite holiday.
There may be a reason for that.
Maybe a reason for that. All right. I'll take that. So I do have a number of questions now.
I'm seeing that, actually.
Thanks to the people in chat for sending me some of those. Someone wanted to know is again, rather minor character, is Snowflake / Roid Rage going to be in the game?
Holy Celestia! I forgot about that character. I've never seen him. I don't have any plans to put him in there. As it is, I don't even know what he would do. I think it'd just be like a random moment where he'd just show up and scream at you.
Yes, just random cameo moment. You can't interact with him in any way.
I tell you what, because this is a fan game and we love listening, we love getting ideas from the community, I'm actually going to make a note of that right now, and if I can, I will put him in the game.
Awesome. That's right. You guys listening, you could have serious influential powers towards this game. God help us all.
Especially if you're a vector or background artist. We need about 3 or 4 more of those. So if any vector or background artists are listening, please email us. We could use a little bit of help. Our artists are already overworked as it is.
Yes, please, artists, if you want to help with a super awesome game and get your name up in the lights in Vegas or somewhere, at least here, I don't know.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, right? Las Vegas. Then please get in contact with them. And how would they do that?
I'm actually a vector artist, but I'm too busy, so I apologize.
Well, then forget you, good sir. No, I'm kidding.
Strike one.
Strike one.
The best way to contact us is actually just email us at FillyGamez@gmail.com. That's games with a Z. It's kind of a goofy little thing. I probably shouldn't have done that, but that's the way it is. And we definitely are looking forward to having some more people on board. Maybe 1 or 2 musicians if you'd like. We haven't really looked too much. We already have, as I mentioned, Cyril and Stars in Autumn. We've also got a gentleman named Walrus Music Incorporated, who's not very well known in the community, but I can tell you his music is incredibly soothing. It will almost put you to sleep, not because it's boring, because it makes you feel so incredibly relaxed, like you're sleeping on a cloud. It's amazing. He does our main theme on our channel there. It is extraordinary.
I just saw a random ass question here in the chat that can we expect Iron Will in the game?
Ooh, I can't say, I'm afraid.
All right, and just Clumpy Clumpy asked that question.
Schlumpy.
Give credit where credit is due.
Slump thing. Wow. Okay. Iken has talking.
Swamp Thing.
Schlum. My schlong thing. What? Okay. Giggity. So I've got several questions here now about the races. Okay. And sort of what kind of a character you can play. Now I know that I know a little bit about this because this is the main thing I was interested in. But you can play as both genders of the 3 different main races, correct?
Yes, this is correct.
Okay, and someone here, there's sort of multifaceted talking about the different races now. But is there going to be a wow? I just lost the. There it is. Is there going to be any perks sort of related to picking a specific type? Now I know that it changes your interactions with other characters in the game a bit, depending on what race you are, right?
Yes, it does. Literally,
is there anything else, perks or anything that goes along with that?
Well, we're trying our best to make sure that every decision you make in the game has an influence, at least in some level, some identifiable influence. Race and gender definitely, pretty from species, but species and gender definitely play a huge role in this. Each species, Earth, Pony, Pegasi, and Unicorn, has a custom-tuned background story, unique to that particular species. And that background story will come up with certain characters. I can't say very much about that. I can just say that maybe if you're a unicorn, you might have something in common with Twilight Sparkle. I can't confirm or deny that, just as an example. And there's also, each one of the species is going to have a sub-story that is unique to them, that has a very interesting end result, that will again be determined by whether or not you've chosen to be a hero or a nemesis in the game. But those are definitely different. And your species, and as far as gender goes, gender does change some of your interactions, not as drastically as species does, but there's definitely some remarks made on gender, nothing sexist by any means. But several of your interactions will change depending on gender. For the most common one being that someone will call you ma'am instead of sir. Small thing there just to specify your gender at certain times in the game, but there will be changes depending. So yes, it does play a very important role.
Right, and so we talked a little bit about the sort of the hero versus villain kind of thing. This person wanted to know, it was Legolas, I think it's spelled like Legolas, but not quite, was wanting to know if they recognize that there's sort of, you can be bad or you can be good sort of innately, but is it possible to actually sort of a strange, like, side with the actual villains in the game, like Chrysalis or someone? Is it possible to develop some sort of a relationship, I guess, in those terms?
Well, not exactly. It's not. The hero nemesis system is really determining on how you handle the crisis situations, and that will have an influence on what happens when you encounter a villain such as Chrysalis, how you ultimately deal with her. You won't necessarily side with them, but your methods in handling the situation may be questionable depending on your alignment.
Okay.
I can't delve too much into that because, as I mentioned, there's so few villains in ponies that I can't quite say who's there because it's so obvious what they're doing there because there's so few villains. That's why we brought in a few of our own design. But it definitely, you cannot necessarily side with them, but it will change how you react with them, what kind of options are available with that character because of that. And also your interactions with certain characters do influence your opinions with other characters. Forgot to mention that.
Awesome. So, sort of piggybacking on that in terms of, not being able to reveal too much, this person, Bronyborn, is wondering, and it's the ultimate question: is there one thing about this game that has not been released yet, that has not been revealed before, that you can tell us right now? One thing.
Well, I mentioned Chrysalis earlier. I mean, you're asking two things in one night? I don't know. It's a lot of work, man. Let's see. What can I mention that has not been publicly stated that I could probably give you guys? Trying to think here. There's so much information that I can't give. I'm trying to figure out what wouldn't be detrimental to us. I can tell you that Sithisto from Equestria Daily, the Equestria Daily will be in the game. And I can give an example of what the Hero Nemesis system will do. If you are, let's say, you're nice to the Cutie Mark Crusaders, that could influence that could make someone like Rarity like you more. If that was your goal in the game. If you're mean to them, perhaps some of the less friendly characters like Diamond Tiara are something a lot nicer to you and want to talk to you more. Other than that, I can tell you that the Equestria Daily is in the game, run by Sithisto. And I guess I can give this away a little bit. He's going to have a very interesting persona, as he has allowed me to do whatever I want with that character. Bad idea, Seth. Terrible idea, Sithisto. I love you, man. Terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
If you're listening, I want you to know you really dropped the ball on that idea. I'm kidding.
You fucked up. I ain't fucked up.
It's going to be his character is going to be very entertaining.
Man.
Anyone who's a fan of Deus Ex, that's the only hint I can give.
Oh man, that's wow. Okay, all right. That's going to be interesting. Definitely.
I've got
and
a
I can
question.
only say I can give you one line from Sithisto from the game if you'd like.
Sure.
Where is the Trixie?
Where is the Trixie? Oh
That's
man,
all I can give you.
KB, did you have something?
Yeah, I got something. It's kind of a two-parter here. I'm wondering when the game does release, if there's going to be a price, and two, if it is going to be, because everyone knows that I'm a dumbass and I own a Mac and whatnot, yada yada. Don't yell at me. Will there be a Mac version? So for people like me.
Regarding price, since My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is owned by Hasbro and Lauren Faust and all that technical legal stuff, we have a disclaimer at the beginning of the game that also requires you to agree that Trixie is best pony. No, we don't charge any money for it. It's completely free. It's a gift to everyone in the community. We're not trying to compete or do anything like that. This is a gift for everyone, completely free at your own leisure. We don't even ask for donations. I'm not even sure if it's legal for us to do that. I mean, if you want to send us muffins and alcohol, by all means, I won't stop you. It'd be fantastic, but
by all means,
I won't stop you. And the second part of that question, I'm sorry, what was the second part of that question again?
Will there be a Mac version for people like myself that are normal people like Windows?
You know what? That's better answered by Rashi.
Probably not. I coded the engine using DirectX, so it kind of is Windows only, and I haven't done anything on a Mac before either. So unless someone out there wants to help me port it over, maybe someone will want to port it to Java to give Linux users the ability to play on it too. Maybe we can work something out. But as far as quite a few actually, as far as it goes for me, this is pretty much what I've done so far.
All right, I just thought I'd put the idea in mind for the Mac users. But either way, I will forcefully make myself buy boot camp so I can run in Windows just to play this game if it makes you feel any better.
Or buy an old used laptop. It'll run on basically anything I've found so far.
Yeah, it's pretty, text/picture sort of, audio games. Non sort of full-on animated featurettes.
We didn't really want to be demanding. We wanted a game that everybody could play regardless of your machine, because I know a lot of bronies are college students and money is very, very limited. Rashi has explained to me this thing could probably run on a toaster if you wanted it to bad enough, and that's part of the idea behind the engine.
You'd have to really want it, but probably.
A toaster running Windows. But you heard that, chats and stream, people listening, they're looking for, well, maybe not actively looking, but if you're a person who knows coding things and can take something from DirectX and apply that to Mac or Linux or what have you, something computery, science, nerddom, then get in touch with these guys, because your efforts are needed for those poor bastards who are not using a Windows computer.
I know, right? Help us out.
Help them out.
We spent so much money on this computer, and now we're being fucked over. Help us.
Oh, help us.
If you can afford a Mac, you can afford a cheap laptop.
No sympathy. None.
Well, guess what? I bought a plane ticket instead of a computer, so there you go.
There you go. Well, KBrony fanfare. Oh, man. Let's see. I do believe I have other questions here. Is the game... you already did that one.
I'm seeing a bunch of them pop up in the chat now.
Yes. If you're putting them in the chat, stop doing that. Send them to me directly via /MSG space TWIX space and your question. I do not know how many times I need to say it, but of course, all the times, all the ways is how I need to say it. So
about
this
every 2 minutes.
Right? So next question, and I'm not sure I even know what this is, to be completely fair and honest. But they're wanting to know, is Alleyway going to be in the game?
You know, that's a very interesting question that was brought up all of a sudden. I actually made a recent decision that she will be. She won't be romanceable or be a big part of the game, but she will have a little cameo appearance. I haven't done anything with it. At some point in time, yes. I just don't know when.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see. How easy will the game's chat system be to traverse?
Extraordinarily. As much as I hate to say this, if you have a hard time figuring out how to... There's a tutorial to the game that will explain everything, which Rashi was actually kind of didn't think we needed, but we actually got a lot of questions at BronyCon asking us, like, what do I do? What does this mean? I'm like, well, I thought it was self-explanatory, but I can understand it if you haven't seen it before. It could be a little tricky. The system is very easy to navigate. If you have a hard time figuring it out, you're probably asking questions like, what are food and how do sky? But I'm kidding. I don't mean that towards anyone. But it's very easy. There's a tutorial at the beginning of the game that you have the option to take if you want. It's simple. It's literally just click on the option you like. The biggest challenge in this game is choosing the options to get the desired outcome. We aren't doing like Mass Effect, where here's the good option, here's the bad option every time. They do get mixed up because we want you to actually think about what you're doing, and not every character is the same. I've mentioned this before, but someone like Rainbow Dash, if you're just nice to her all the time, she's going to start to dislike you because that's boring. She doesn't like that. If you harass her or something, she loves a good prank. She enjoys it. Little things like that.
I appreciate that you did that. That's something that I totally would have overlooked, and that's just genius.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. So, I had one. Shit. I totally had a question. It was there in my head.
And it's gone.
Chat system. Something about chat system. Oh, yes, I remember now. Ta-da! So I do remember, for those that are sort of wondering what it will look like, because I don't think we've actually addressed this yet in the interview, but they do have a video, or 2 or 4, maybe. I don't remember how it's repeated, but they have. Yes. They have a little YouTube video that you can watch of the different interactions with. It's a rarity scene, I believe. It's very short.
Sorry, I was trying to cut you off, mate. Sorry.
It's pretty short, but it sort of shows you what kinds of answers you can give to questions, or to sort of influence. And it's actually there's a couple times where it is kind of vague, or at least you have to think kind of hard. They don't just hand it over to you on a silver platter. You have to kind of think, well, which one of these decisions could be a bad thing that I'm going to say, and which could be a good thing. So it's not one of those straightforward, I hate you, go fuck off, and I want to make love to you. It's not like that at all. It's I've played, trust me, I played those games. It's pretty obvious. This one is this one can be sort of something like item. This is completely paraphrasing. I don't remember the text at all, but in the little rarity demo they have, it could be something as simple as like, well, I think you're very independent and that you should be doing such and such by yourself or something because I think you're an amazing individual. And then the other answer to that was like, oh, I'm completely willing to offer you all of my help because I love you so much. And so, you kind of have to think a second and go, oh, well, is she one of those kind of, women who might be a little more feministy, kind of like, yeah, I like the independence, or more, really appreciative of the help kind of a thing. It was very interesting to see those little tweaks that are very, very difficult to see sometimes in between the lines there.
It's funny you mentioned that. The lead writer of Vinyl Scratch Tapes, Corey W. Williams, has continuously tried to convince me to put in a bonus option in the game, which is just a pimp hoof, where you just smack whoever talks to you at all times. Which is a terrible idea. I'm not going to do that, but that's something that I've been requested to do.
Just do like a DLC, if you will, part of the game where it's just like, Pimp Slap Bonanza, where you're just like walking around, like you just have this option. You're all dressed up in like a pimp suit. You're just like, oh, bitch slap this one, bitch slap this one. Just like,
yeah, it's not
ludicrous. It's ludicrous as you can possibly make it. Just you have to try. You have to try really hard to get some really, really angry emails.
The only joking idea I've kicked around just to harass one of our voice actresses, Robot Butterfly, I told her I want to do an all Lyra all the time mode, where every character is voiced by Lyra, except Lyra, who'll be voiced by myself doing a Russian accent. Everyone else is just Lyra.
Oh man, that would be chaos to try and voice all those lines.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to like that idea very much, but everyone else finds it hilarious.
Oh wow, yeah, I would too. It would be quite amazing, I think.
But it would be a lot of work. This game is a lot of dialogue.
Yes.
It's a story-based game, it has to be, but at least we give you the control over the dialogue.
I got a question kind of similar to that, I suppose.
Okay.
You mentioned a little while back that you have the sort of, you'd call it an Easter egg with Equestria Daily. How do you plan on having a lot of Easter eggs, both related to the fandom and related to the show in the game? And if you can tell us which, do you have more Easter eggs involving the Brony fandom, or do you have more Easter eggs involving
everything,
canon things, just everything?
Anything we can do to try to. I mean, it's not going to be overly done. I'm not going to have where every little line is like, it's 9,000. That'd be terrible. It's going to be they'll be in there for everyone's enjoyment. Some of them are more subtly in there. Some of them no one's caught yet. We actually one of our more recent our demo at BronyCon, no one caught a Silent Hill reference in the first section of the game. I was really surprised no one caught that yet. I can give an example of things like that we do. Like in one of our first demo, our romance and voice demonstration, we have Rainbow Dash, who at the time being voiced by Robot Butterfly, who's just doing it temporarily for us. Was telling people some of the questions we've received, such as, can I have a special sun pony? Will it be in the game? What does it mean? Are you suggesting coconuts migrate? The last line being a Monty Python reference. We'll have little things like that throughout the game for you to enjoy. There are some Easter eggs with this, though, and some ones that stand out a little bit more than others, definitely. I have a special one planned for Big Macintosh. If you're a fan of the Mass Effect series, I think you'll definitely get an enjoyment out of that. Things like a lot of that stuff happening, not overly done to make it constant, but there are Easter eggs in there also from the fandom. I can give an example of one. You asked for more information the public doesn't know. Here's one. Lyra, originally people started off having her obsessed with sea ponies, and now she's obsessed with humans. There may or may not be a moment in the game where Bon Bon talks about that. Mentions that at one point in time Lyra was obsessed with sea ponies. Now she wants to see humans. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't, but we definitely take some ideas from the community to help out with that. And we're not necessarily stealing the ideas. This is for all of you anyway, so enjoy, please.
Yeah. Awesome.
We take
So,
no
so, I just had a thing here. Yes. Okay. So speaking of the romance stuff, this topic was obviously going to come up at some point. And while I must take my own opportunity to remind our listeners and our chat-esque people that this isn't Love is Magic. So I think that's enough said. But as far as I know, there is some times when you can do some romancing type stuff. But this person, Candra Pony, is wanting to know if you, for example, made a romance with someone like Vinyl Scratch, could there be any possibility for that character? I already know the answer is no. Is there any chance for that character to make a song for the player?
Two things I'd like to address with that. One, you mentioned Love is Magic. Someone actually asked us if we were trying to compete with them. In no way do we mean anything against that team. I'm surprised we got that question. I just want to go ahead and clear that up.
It's not even. Yeah, it's not even.
No, we're not even on the same page.
Yeah, not even in the same genre.
They're a fantastic team. I look forward to seeing what they're doing. By all means, I'd love to co-op with them as well if they're listening. But their game being romance. Romance is I guess I could use Dragon Age or Mass Effect would be a good example. How the romance is in the game, but it's optional. It doesn't really change the overall story, as everyone knows. That's there just for the player's enjoyment. And it's funny you bring that up, actually, about Vinyl making a song about the player. Every character that you choose to romance will have one special date you'll get to go on. Vinyl probably won't have a song about you, but I can say that there may be one or two characters that will sing a song for you if you choose to romance them.
Interesting. Very interesting. So, let's see. I saw another romance follow-up here a second ago. Now, if I recall, either from talking to you before or reading somewhere, you had now not all of the characters are romanceable. Is that correct?
That is correct. With 50-plus characters, not all of them can be. Like a Shining Armor and Cadence showing up, obviously they're married. That's not an option. But they are there. Yeah, they're married. There's no like crazy love triangle stuff going on. I will say, though, that there is every character is gender neutral, and dealing with a world where 95% of our characters are female, at least 95, characters do not care about your gender when it comes to romancing. They're completely neutral with that. That being for anyone anyone of whatever your choice of life is, it's there for you to enjoy. You don't have to do that, but that is there.
Let's see, what was the... Oh, yes. So, that was sort of the pre-question there. This person wanted to know if Derpy was going to be romanced. If you can say.
I can say. I mean, she's so adorable, how could she not be? Derpy's actually going to be... Derpy's actually a very key character, one of the more important characters in the game. Every character's important, but she's one of those that has a very special role assigned to her. I think everyone's going to really enjoy her character, as she doesn't necessarily have a pure canon personality. We know she's derpy, but we don't know what she does. We know she's a male mare. But sure. What does Derpy know? What does she do in her off time? What does she enjoy? Does she enjoy reading fine art? What does she do? So I get to have a little bit of fun with that, and you definitely will get to discover more of that in the game as you talk to her. And she definitely is romanceable. By all means.
I think a lot of people are going to be very happy to hear that she plays a pretty important role in the game.
Just don't blame me if you wake up with derpies. That doesn't happen. Man. That doesn't happen.
That sounds like a disease. That's officially Derpy's eyes. They're an STD. Officially,
I would like to point out this is not a Klopfic. There is nothing of that nature in the game whatsoever, as some people have asked us about. One of the first comments we ever got was in relation to that, actually.
Yes, again, that is a Love is Magic thing. So welcome to Ponyville. Not that territory. Romance, good stuff. Lighthearted shipping type stuff, but not quite that far.
Is it really shipping if you're the character? If it's not one another?
You're shipping yourself.
I use that term as a honestly, it's kind of funny because I use the word shipping now as a lighter side of Klopfic sort of material. Like if it's something where I'm like, yes, there is like romance involved, then I either say it's full blown like, yeah, there's Klop stuff in it, or I just say no, it's just shipping. You know, where it's like not quite that far. I don't know why that sort of happened, but I know that it did, and it seems to work anyway. Because when
okay, I was just
Klopping is shipping too, but
okay, I've heard people say it was shipping before. But I'm like, if you meet someone in real life and date them, is that still shipping, or is shipping just with pre-existing characters that you're now creating a romance for? I never quite fully understood why it was called that.
I think you'd still be. I think it would still be shipping because technically you're not. And yes, I'm going to break many hearts with this statement. You're not actually in a relationship with said character, but you are sort of setting it up that way, and so you're sort of imagining this sort of combination of like you and this other character, and so I think maybe that classifies as shipping because there's like a virtual self of yourself. You're just shipping
yourself. I can see that. It's definitely designed to be an immersive story that actually puts you as the central focal point. Right. So I could see that. Yeah, okay, I understand.
Let's see what other. Okay, so this one, I think I understand what they're asking. This is from Miss Rarity. They ask, will there be currency to purchase gifts for NPCs in the game? And now I'm going to say that, given your other answers, there's not going to be a system whereby you physically pay for in-game money. That's not a thing.
No, we're not EA. We're not out to hurt everybody and screw everybody over. No, we don't do that.
Yes, we went there. But will there be some sort of a bit system? I really can't imagine there not being something like that. But
well, there is a currency system in the game. What game would be complete without that? But there isn't like some games have done where you buy gifts for the characters. We thought about doing that, but unfortunately, that would add a level of complexity to the engine. It's better off not having. The currency in the game is actually used to purchase furniture and furnishings for your house. So you can get things like everyone's seen from our demo is online. People have recorded it. It's on there twice, I believe. But on there, you can purchase the first thing you get in Ponyville is a house. Obviously, then you get a bed. A house of your choosing, by the way. You get to choose where you live. 3 houses to choose from. And you get a bed. And then there's all this furniture, and there's base level furniture. There's upgradable furniture, so you get some nicer stuff later on in the game. For instance, I can only say that you start off with a nice bed, which is a nice little pink covered bed, just something small, comfy. And maybe later in the game you get a 20% cooler bed, which I can't tell you what that is, but I'm pretty sure everyone can figure that out. You get the option to purchase that. The quest you do in the game for certain characters, they will pay you. There are bonuses in the game depending on how you choose to treat characters. Sometimes, if you're mean, you get more money, as opposed to someone thinking you're doing it to be a friend, doing it to be their friend. Now they think you're doing it because you want the money. So things like that will definitely come into play. So there's definitely a financial system.
Awesome. Hey. Is there anything besides like furnishings and stuff? I'm immediately brought to mind of things like Animal Crossing and stuff like that, where you can get all this stuff for the house. And is there maybe like a trade system even if you have some particular item and then someone else says, oh, I'll trade you that, or if you do this for me, then I'll give you this, or is there anything like that in the game?
On a one-time basis, yes.
Okay.
There's a very particular reason it happens. I can't say why.
Sure.
But I can say that Shining Armor gives you a quest in which he gives you something that plays, depending on what you chose to do, how you want to play the game, is instrumental to a particular section of the game. You will have to do it to get this item from him if you want to advance a particular sub-story.
Interesting.
And there are some custom items in the game I can't talk too much about, but depending on what you've done, there may be a custom furnishing for your home that you'll get, depending on some of the things that you've done.
Cool.
That you'll only get through making those decisions, and it'll be different every gameplay.
Right. So, someone's asking here, and I don't even know if you guys have any idea yet. But sort of what maybe the average play time of the game could be. We'll just pretend you're going on a speed run.
If you were going on a speed run, you could, because the way the game works is a character starts to speak with audio. Of course, the voice is going to be turned off. We've got some people asking if they could do that. If you click as fast as the first click will turn the audio off. The second click brings the text up on screen immediately, and the third click is going to skip that screen. So if you just click as fast as you could probably beat even if once we get all the chapters done, it'd probably take 20 minutes if you just skip through every single thing, because then you're not really playing the game anymore.
Right.
Well, longer than 20 minutes, but I mean, it'd take a significantly shorter amount of time. If you actually stop to immerse yourself into the universe and listen to what the characters say, it's going to take a good amount of time. This is not going to be a 10-hour game. This is probably going to be longer than that. I know that our testing team for what we have already has reported to me for the entire game. Well, testing team hasn't seen the entire thing put together. I can tell you, with me alone running through it just to make sure everything looks right, for all the scripts we have put into it so far, Act 1 not being quite yet done, it takes me almost 3 hours.
And
if I actually stop and listen, that's without being fully polished and fully finished off.
And that's just for Act 1, right?
Yes, sir. Act 1 being just one. We wanted to make it 3 acts, but we honestly, it takes a lot longer to do this than we thought it would. Right. Especially as we're trying to make it, we've added so many characters and trying to do so many things with the game. We want everyone in the fandom to have something before the summer ends, while you still have time before school and college start to enjoy it.
Sure.
So we're going to come out with Act 1, which is a little shorter than what I'd like. It doesn't introduce all 50 characters. I would like to point that out, because I know I'm going to get emails about that when it comes out. Not all the 50 characters are introduced right then and there, but a good number of them are. The main 6 will be in the first act, along with a handful of surprise ponies that people may not have expected, as well as the finale to Act 1 is something that's going to be very special, and I think everyone should get a good kick out of it.
Awesome. And let's see, I totally had it again. Oh, someone I saw earlier. Someone had sort of shyishly said a sequel ? And I kind of laughed to myself and thought, well, I think maybe it's a little early, but
you'd be amazed how often we get that question.
Really?
We were on the game developers panel at BronyCon with MLP Online and Ponycart, and that was a question someone asked us immediately, like, "Hey, is there going to be DLC after it's out?" I'm like, what? The first act's not even done, man. I mean, it's like asking, like, is there going to be a sequel to Halo 1 when they first had that thing back in a third-person shooter stage?
Yeah.
I definitely have really enjoyed working on this project. I know my entire 40-plus member team, if they're listening, working with every single one of them has been an amazing experience. I'd love to keep doing that, working with such amazing people. And Rashi and I have had a great time. It's not only just gaining experience in this project, but meeting so many people and doing things. I mean, I'll be honest, Rashi and I are both what we would, in a way, consider introverts, and yet here I am talking in front of 85-plus people. Definitely something I never thought I'd see myself doing. So because of that, this has been definitely a project I'd like to continue working on. Once we have the game done, depending on where we are, I'd love the idea of doing a sequel, or maybe maybe I guess you call it DLC, an expansion. I'd love to do that if we have the ability to do so. By all means, I'd love to. So I can't say we will. I can tell you that I want to.
Awesome. Yeah, because I know, sometimes when you're doing projects and stuff like that, I know you guys have, pretty well mapped out, for a lot of the later stuff and everything. And but do you ever, have those moments where you're thinking, I really wish we could do, X, Y, or Z, but we've decided to conclude the game this way. Maybe that's something we might look at putting in the future, or any kind of stuff that you thought, well, we couldn't fit it in. Is there anything like that for you?
Not quite, as I've got there's two main storylines that intertwine with one another. I've got them both pretty much nailed down to the letter, both of which are unique to this game. Well, one of them is inspired by the community. I think everyone will enjoy that. One of them is unique to the game. I think everyone's going to get a big kick and a big surprise out of it. Definitely something you won't see coming. It does wrap it up pretty good. But there's nothing I think I would change for that. But in the world of MLP, there's always something that could happen. I mean, I as the writer of the Violent Scratch tapes has told me some of his ideas, what he'd like to do with his stuff after it's finished. I can't say anything about that, but through sitting down and brainstorming with him, with Corey W. Williams, really gotten some good ideas. And I definitely would. I could see some expansive stories to go on beyond what happens in the game. There's definitely a lot of things I'd like to do in the game that I can't, because we are limited by we are limited by our graphics and our engine, things like that. Which isn't a limiting engine, but it's purpose built. Right. I can't have it where all of a sudden you call in an AC-130. I don't know why you do that, but I can't do that. Even if it was even if I want to do that, I can't. But there are some options I'd like to do that aren't necessarily in this game, and we do have some ideas rolling around, just kind of for the hay of it. That yeah, by all means, as of now, there's nothing planned, but I'd love to. So maybe.
Awesome. Always good to hear. Anyway, yeah.
I got a question, really quick.
Go for it.
No.
Fine.
What do you got, mate?
All right. It came to me when we were talking about bits and currency earlier, about the potential to buy things, maybe sell things. I was wondering if it's going to be at all, if the game has any qualities like Sim where you need to eat and do things or else you're going to die. Will that be like, is there any actions that you're just going to have to do regularly? Like,
somebody's been playing.
You're going to have to go to Sugar Cube Corner and eat 3 cupcakes because you're out of, fuel, or else you can't, or, just that kind of shit,
Your warrior needs food.
Exactly.
Not quite. I've kind of noticed at the beginning of the game, your character mentions that he gets some food, or he or she, the player, you, I guess I should say, gets some food and you eat it. It kind of falls by the wayside later on. It's just kind of implied that you eat. It's not one of those games that's like, oh my gosh, I have no food or water and I just spent all my money on a new sofa. What do I do? Game over, I died. No, we're not doing that.
All right, thank you for that, because that's irritating a lot.
Yeah, we're not doing that. It's supposed to be as least irritating as possible.
Yep. That's always good to make a game that doesn't piss people off. It's kind of what you should go for at the end of the day.
You want AI to be able to do that, and there's definitely a few characters you're going to meet that are going to twitch that nerve in you. Even a few fan favorite characters come off as kind of a pain in the butt when you first meet them, but that's just their character.
The game will be the game, and I will enjoy it either way. So,
yes. Oh man. So, let's see. I did see something about meeting characters in the game. Where's that question?
Frank the sofa. Sorry, read through the chat comments.
Yes. Let's see. Will there be? No. Yes. Okay. How would one go about meeting a certain character that you want to meet? Is it all done by chance, or is there some way to select them? Or
as far as the initial introduction goes, that is pretty much unavoidable. Because the idea behind that being, we don't want to make a game where someone will go through the game and be like, hey, where was Barry Punch the whole time? What happened? Well, you forgot to go to the bar in Act 1, so you screwed up. Not doing that. You'll run into every single character at some point in time. Whether or not you choose to continue in your interactions with that character is up to you, depending on how you treat them. But you will meet every character. There's no way around that. There's no way to accidentally miss like half the game like I did in one of the Mass Effects. You don't do that. That's a very frustrating experience. You get to the end like, well, why didn't this happen? Oh, I did it wrong. We're not doing that.
Oh man, yes, I hate that. Worst.
Yeah, that's so frustrating.
Worst thing.
Because you never have a save file that far back to go back and fix that.
Never ever. So someone wants to know, is Dr. Woos going to be a time traveler as his namesake, or do you guys have something else in store for him?
I can answer that question with a question. What does the fandom think of him?
Okay, fair enough.
I have the Jam Jar who does him in the Doctor Who's Adventures doing his voice. And I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, I know. but I've never actually watched Doctor Who. I know it's a great show. I've just never sat down and watch it. Because of that, Jam Jar, who's a big fan of the show, was actually helping me with that character to make sure he's as accurate to he is in the show, but at the same time being a individualized pony version of himself. So I don't wish to mimic Doctor Who's Adventures or one of the Doctor Who's and the Assistant, any of those terrific shows. I don't wish to mimic any of them. So instead, we're putting our own little twist on it. But it's definitely fan-based inspired.
Interesting. We're getting some more just sometimes slightly specific, but maybe things that don't matter. Is there a possibility, if you're a Pegasus or perhaps any other race, to be able to race Rainbow Dash?
Possible.
Okay.
There may be some very interesting interactions with her.
They also added on the end of that, even though you would lose.
Most likely. There is a particular storyline, sub-story developed with Rainbow Dash. Doesn't necessarily involve racing her, but I can't say too much about it, but you definitely will get a very interesting interaction with her.
Awesome. Let's see. How would you go... let's see. I already read that question. That one you can't answer. Will this game go into next year, or are you planning to release all the chapters this year?
I wish we really wish we could get it done before the end of this year, but it will continue production throughout the next year. I can pretty much guarantee that, because it actually takes a surprising amount of time. Rashi here and I are just two guys, and as far as the actual scripting, everything you see on the screen, I have to manually go in and do all of that, place the characters, place the music, adjust the volume, choose what the characters say, compile the voice lines, direct them, get them sent out, get them back in, have them polished by the audio engineer, put them back in the game. That's all managed and done by me. And the reason being is I'm the only person that knows the entire story. Even Rashi here doesn't know the full story, as he doesn't wish to. He wants the game to be a surprise for him as well, understandably. But it takes some time. It really I work between this game, some freelance work I do, my internship in college, and my job. I work literally about 15 hours a day, and a good chunk of that is devoted to this game. I'm literally doing the best I can. I'm working as fast as I can for everyone. It definitely going to span into next year, but we will release acts along the way to tide everyone over as we complete the entire game.
Sure. Let's see.
Why not?
Why not? And I believe I already know the answer to this question is, can you date the main six? And I believe that is an emphatic yes.
Yes, pretty much.
Pretty much. Kind of a given. It'd be almost quite a dickish thing to do, actually, to not have the main six be dateable. Just say, oh, you can date everyone except for the main six.
Except the most popular characters, of course.
Or just pick one of them.
Or just
randomly.
Like all the people that love Fluttershy. Nope, you can't have Fluttershy. And they're like, what the fuck, man? I want a Fluttershy. Nope, they can't have it. Nope.
Just Applejack, everyone's worst pony. There are a few very small numbered, very emphatic Applejack lovers out there, and to you I say I am not sorry.
Well, I don't know. Ray from Achievement Hunter seems to like Applejack the most, but
let's see. Oh, and along with that, they asked the same question of and I think I may know the answer to this, but can you piss another pony off? Can you make them so mad they just rage quit?
Just gone from the game forever.
I've actually been a little surprised myself for some of the options in the game as to how exactly mean you can be.
Oh, man.
So you can epically make some of them angry, yes. You can make them almost legitimately hate you. So yes, you can definitely make them angry.
I'm excited to see that. My first playthrough, I'll just troll playthrough the first time.
See,
Make
no,
everyone
no, you're not. No one troll plays the first time.
It's true.
Everyone trolls plays
sad.
second or third.
I'm being yelled at right now. I need to point this out that Wolfie also plays Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and Diamond Tiara. Unless Pinkie Pie sings, which is done by Hannah.
Ah,
Good to know.
yes.
So I'm being yelled at right now about that. So I'm going to point that out.
Indeed. Let's see. And we already answered the question. You'll be able to meet the princesses, all of them.
Yes, you will get to meet Princess Luna and Princess Celestia, both being very imperative characters to both the storylines, and everyone's going to. There's a treat in there for everyone. I think everyone's going to really enjoy with them. 2 treats actually with each character.
Interesting. Now, I have a question of my own for once. And that is, you may not be able to say yet, but I would be very interested to see, will the 2 princesses be romanceable?
I get that question a lot. I've yet to decide if I can say or not, but I can say that yes.
Very good. Very good. All is well with the world. Oh, man. I can see that being... Wow. Okay. Yes. Yes, good. Enough said. Giggity. So, I've got another question. If you are a particular pony, such as a Pegasus, of course, are there particular locations that you can access that other races cannot?
Your species will let you into certain areas that other species could not necessarily do, yes. There's different scenes and such, particular to each character, yes.
Okay. Now, perhaps, I don't know if this is the case or not, but with that, I have this feeling that maybe it's not particularly a race-specific thing, but and not to suggest that any ponies are racist or that we're dealing with any sort of a mob sort of lifestyle within the game, but are there any particular situations where you will be not because of your physical ability, but be declined certain areas due to the fact that you are not a particular race?
Not exactly. If you're not a particular race, chances are you won't even know certain areas exist.
Okay.
They won't even be brought up to you. So not likely.
Okay. Let's see. Oh man, I just got this influx of questions. Will Tom Dan be in the game? The Rock.
Who? Oh, Tom.
Tom
I
Dan.
hadn't thought about that, but I can definitely go ahead and put that in my notes.
Alrighty, good suggestions, people. Good suggestions. Oh man, Dan is the closed caption name thing that he had. The little the subtitles that they put out during the first episode where he wasn't actually named yet, and people called him Dan because that's what the Google thing read. But let's see how. Oh, okay. So this one isn't quite too specific in terms of time, but how big is Act 1 relative to file size?
Give me a second, and I can actually give you an idea right now.
I think the last one he sent me was 350 megabytes compressed. I got it right here. Compressed, it was 308 megabytes already.
Okay, it's not done yet, but yeah, that's probably a good number.
It's big.
And so I'm assuming it's all just an executable then. That's been, or is it? Sorry, rather, all of the other folders and things are in there, but the main game runs as an executable.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, some people are sort of talking to me through Twix and not really asking me questions, so I'm kind of trying to weed through. I'm not sure I even understand what that word is. Will you hear anything of Luna's abacus? Abacus?
Abacus. That's the
I'm
word I was saying.
completely unfamiliar with that term.
I don't think I've ever seen it written, but I can figure out the way it sounds. I was unfamiliar with that concept. I'll put it in my notes, but to my knowledge, no.
Interesting. Just because... Okay. Just because you can get them really mad, I'm going to play it for... Wait, what? Okay, I think somebody's talking to me again. Trying to find out if there's a question in here. Okay, I'm just going to read this and see if this sounds like a question. Just because you can get them really mad, I'm going to play it for a real long time just to date them all, or the ones that are dateable and piss the ones off when I replay it? Question mark. Is there a question in there?
I'm afraid I didn't see one.
I didn't hear it. I did not hear it.
I kind of stopped paying attention about 2 words in.
That
so
reminds me of...
I'm not the one to ask.
It reminds me of... I've been watching the series Tabletop. It's a sort of a video blog kind of series that Will Wheaton runs now through Geek and Sundry. It's sort of a nerdy video game type stuff, gaming sort of a website that Felicia Day is part of, and she runs, and Will Wheaton and a whole bunch of other sort of smaller time-ish actors. But Tabletop, they have some people come in and they do tabletop games, and it's like a 30-minute episode every week where they just play different tabletop games. And they had this one section where Will Wheaton, or as Family Guy would note, Will Wheaton, they had he said something that was really sort of long. And then one of the other players that was sitting there asked him, he said, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that?" And he started talking again. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I totally fell asleep like 3 words in." See. Okay, another influx of questions. So many. The first thing that jumped out at me was the word sea ponies. Is in any fashion whatsoever, aside from maybe a sort of a cameo meme thing referencing Lyra, is there going to be any mention or anything of sea ponies in the game?
Mentioning, yes.
Okay. Let's see. Being titled Welcome to Ponyville, and this is a good question actually, will you be able to go to other places such as Canterlot, or are you restricted to only Ponyville and its surroundings?
99% of the game occurs in Ponyville. There may be 1 or 2 events where you leave Ponyville, but that's about it. Since the game is Welcome to Ponyville, 99% of it is within the game, is within Ponyville itself, as is within the show.
Okay, which I believe answers the question of, is it open or closed world?
Closed world. I had one of my team members recently ask me to remind everyone that you don't physically walk around town like you do with like My Little Investigations. It just kind of, you choose where you want to go and it takes you there.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, this is interesting. And actually, I sort of have a side question that goes along with this. This question comes from Woverall. That says, will there be holidays like Nightmare Night? And my sort of side question to that is there a passage of time in the game? Is it strict? Is there one at all? Or is it sort of this fluid, you know, you could pass days without doing anything sort of a thing?
There's always something to do every day. It's not really like, oh, look, today I'm just going to sit in the hammock and do nothing. Well, I don't know what the purpose of doing that in a video game would be, but if you want to, I don't really, again, not entirely sure why you'd want to do that. But every day there are events to interact with. And as far as the passing of time, I had a question about that before, actually. You live on a day-to-day basis, but in between acts, it will be implied that a significant amount of time has passed. Maybe a few weeks, varying from weeks to months. But I don't wish to take the Dragon Age approach or the Fable 3 approach, where suddenly, hey, by the way, guess what? This happened.
Suddenly we skip all the main events of the game.
And now you're in them. No. You wake up, and it's not like you wake up and the revolution's happening somehow. No, we're not doing that. If anyone's a Fable 3 fan, they'll catch that reference.
Yeah.
Everything you do in that game will be... It's orchestrated. You yourself walk through it. Time passes at a normal basis. The only large amount of time that's going to skip is going to be in the acts.
Right. Yeah, as someone who's played both Fable 3 and Dragon Age 2, I must say I'm fairly pissed about the way that they've handled time skips over very crucial, important events. Dragon
We're not
Age,
doing that.
as just a really quick aside rant, Dragon Age 2, not quite sure.
I liked it.
It was great game. I loved that game, but I literally beat that game 4 times in a week, and then I started to like slow down a little bit, and I was like, okay, I've kind of done everything, and because I was so excited because I thought it was so cool, this sort of actiony role playing type thing, and I thought about it for a while and had some people comment about it to me, and I was like, you know what? They're kind of dicks because we have this whole like there's this build-up thing, or sort of this build-up, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have you do a bunch of like sort of miscellaneous events or whatever, and you know, you're just gonna kind of go along, do this and that, and this side quest and that side quest, and they're like, oh man, get ready for it. Here's the big finisher on like every time there's a big thing that's gonna happen. They're just like, okay, now we're just gonna skip past that and put you in place in the sort of down dip of the action of the rising falling action cycle. It's basically they take you up the rising actions, you skip the climax and go straight to the falling actions again, and then you go back up to rising actions, skip the climax, and you do that like 3 times. It's really quite frustrating.
It would be. Something about that is we don't take a stance on any game's endings or their policy by any means, but if you go to on our website, we do it on our About Us section. We do talk about why we created the game and why we started doing what we were doing. Part of the influence behind this game was we're tired of seeing games that favor fancy graphics over stories. And there's a link on that takes you to an article about the ending of a particular game. I'm not going to say what it is or anything, but it's there if anyone want to go see it. That is part of the reason we're actually making an independent game, is because we are tired of seeing this happen in mainstream games. And we know that the individual player is tired of it. It's not fair to anybody to do that.
Nope, it's fairly irritating. Let's see here. I know I've got some more questions. Oh man, best question yet. Here we go. Is Stephen Magnet gonna be in the game?
Steve the Magnet?
Stephen Magnet, the sea serpent from episode 1.
No.
Or 2. Ah, my heart. My mustache.
Yeah, I'm okay with
that. Oh, poor.
I do put him in the game though. You have that role with that voice.
Oh man. Oh god. Oh, poor Lee Tokar. Oh well. Let's see. There was another one. Oh, so I don't think we actually addressed this because I kind of side-railed it with the time passage thing. Are there going to be any kind of holidays or festivities and stuff like that in the game?
Of course.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Here's a fairly sort of specific question, and given your other responses about fandom involvement, I'm going to take a gander at this. But will Dinky be in the game, and if so, will she be Derby's daughter?
Good question. No. Dinky is not in the game, and Derpy does not have any children.
Okay. Ooh, this is a good one from Legolas. And I'm going to gather a yes, perhaps. Will there be tearjerker stories in this?
Ooh, I certainly hope so. Part of the reason my name is Writer's Block is to explain that I definitely am not the greatest writer in the universe, and to explain that occasionally I am going to mess up. I have been told that so far that people enjoy the writing, and that actually makes them laugh and feel bad about some of the actions they make. So I definitely hope that I can create a few tear-jerking moments in the game. I'm going to try. I can't guarantee that I'm capable of this, but I'm going to try.
Interesting. And I... Okay, this is a completely silly question. But I guess there needs to be some sort of an answer for it. KBrony asks, will you be able to ask Celestia about bananas?
I never really took that into account. I'll put it in my notes, the best I can say.
Oh man, that's a good one.
I'm not entirely sure what you'd ask her about bananas, but sure, why not?
Why not? Banana bag. Let's see. So, and someone has asked again. We have addressed this before. It is closed world.
Yes.
I've seen this question a few times now. Let's see. Someone else asked, will you be able to keep... okay, so this is a good question. And I assume you guys have a save file system set up for this, but they're wondering if you'll be able to continue dating the same pony in Act 2 and things of that nature.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Awesome. I kind of figured I actually was enjoying another one of the interesting... Well, I'm not really sure if I would call it a separate game, but the Ponymon hack for Pokemon was Dusk and Dawn was very interesting, but they had some troubles with their save file system, I remember. So always good to hear that that's taken care of. Let's see. Someone's wondering if there's going to be co-op, which I'm thinking no, but
No. We do have a little side project that eventually, maybe, possibly will get out. It is a multiplayer game. It has nothing like this, but I really don't know what we're going to ever do with it. Possibly, but not in this game.
Okay. So no, would there be any sort of a maybe story or like affiliation-wise, or something completely different?
Yes. There would be a story. If we are able to do that, there would be a story similarity to that. Yes.
Okay.
Best I can say. I'm not entirely certain, honestly.
Right. Let's see. What kind?
I'm actually going to have to ask Rashi to take over for a minute. My laptop's about to die. Let me go get my charger.
I think I heard it. It sounds terrifying.
So, Rashi, it's all you for about 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Got it.
Awesome. I do hear an alarm going off. I'm not completely... Oh, man. That was awesome. Okay, let me see. Is there a lot of or much animation stuff at all, or is it pretty much completely just, cut and dry, pasted vector sort of things?
Yeah, it's all pretty simple. There's a little bit of a fade effect, so it doesn't just pop in and out. And if anyone saw our BronyCon demo, the text will fade in as they speak. So just to give it a little bit of animation, make it a little bit less boring.
And Is it now? Someone is asking, is it going to be? They're asking if it'll be too big to be released online, which I don't think it's even a thing. But if you guys will have a release on disc at all, or if it will be just completely download.
It'll probably just be completely download. I don't think I want to put the time and effort into actually making a disc.
I don't blame you at all whatsoever.
He's saying he's lazy, and that's okay.
I'm a computer guy. I'm supposed to be lazy.
It's true. True facts. So, someone here was wondering, and I'm not sure how much detail we can get on this. They did list some specifics, but what kind of Luna are we expecting in the game? And I'm going to kind of suggest maybe what sort of personality are you going with? Something maybe different from the show, something more fan-in, or if so, what?
One more time, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I have incredibly confusing ways of structuring questions.
It's good.
For for Luna, I'm good in politics. We'll just say that. For Luna, is her portrayal, her personality? Are you sticking with more of a show, sort of a paradigm, or are you doing something fanon? And if it's more sort of a fanon personality, do you have any hints as to what type of personality she might have?
With most of the characters, I'm trying to stay as close to the canon personalities as possible, with the ones that have a clearly defined canon possibility, unless the fanon has spoken out and clearly does not like that thing. Such as Rose Luck. There's been a lot of complaints that she sounds like a Wisconsin mom, and a lot of people are worried that I'm going to use that voice. We will not. But Luna's personality is drawn from the show. The best way I can explain that is the time frame of the game takes place directly after Season 2. I think Season 3 will not be in the game. But it comes to play directly after Season 2. And after that time period, Luna has developed a better personality. She knows how to talk to ponies without scaring them and yelling at them. She's calmed down a lot. She understands the modern world a lot better. So that's definitely taking into account. I wouldn't say we're necessarily changing anything. I'd just say we're expanding upon it.
Okay. And I think perhaps one of the things that this person was getting at is that is she maybe still going to retain some of that tricksterish element, you know, sort of her trolliness, if you will, that we've seen a few times?
This is actually something Stars in Autumn and I have talked about a good bit, as he has a song that's Luna's Night Out. Fantastic song, by the way. Please look it up. It's in the game as well. Luna is the goddess of the night. Everything fun happens at night. So she has to have that element to her. If she is, in fact, the goddess of the night, she's got to have some fun parts to her. She's still and as she displayed in suddenly the name escapes me, Nightmare Night episode, she does enjoy a good prank, a good scare, so that's definitely taken into account with the game. We're not just kind of side rolling anybody's character. We're definitely taking that into account, and there will be elements of that in game.
Awesome. Let's see. Okay, this person asks, is it going to be possible if certain sections are they going to have sort of a facade style interaction?
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
Yeah, I don't follow that either. You and me both.
Rasha, you're good. Everything I'm not good at, you're good at. Any idea?
What exactly was the question?
Exactly.
Is it possible certain sections can have facade style interaction? It's capitalized, so I'm assuming maybe it's a game or something.
I
no. Could you
don't know what that is.
Could you specify again? That was I think that was Kendra. No, that was Woverall. Woverall, if you could specify that, and I will go to Kendra's question. Is there any possibility that Trixie will not speak in third person?
It's possible. I mean, Trixie I've actually had a lot of fun with because she is such a fantastic character, and because Seth loves her so much. I actually rather enjoy Trixie myself. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with her. Trixie doesn't have a canon background story. Why is she the way she is? What really makes Trixie tick? What's going on behind that hat, under that hat, that really causes her to speak in third person? Is that the way she's set in stone, or is there a reason for this that can be overcome? Those are questions I've had to answer with her, and they are questions that definitely going to become obvious in the game.
Interesting. So they have further specified, and now I understand what they're talking about. It's the game type where you type in the dialogue choices yourself, almost like a MUD, sort of an RPG type thing.
No.
Yeah, I did not anticipate that.
No, what'll happen is you'll get to a situation where you'll be given a list of options. They can vary between 2 to Luna knows how many, depending. And you go through that, and you choose which option you wish to say. Our romance and voice demonstration has a very good preview of that involving Vinyl Scratch, which is actually a little bit more strange than I originally meant it to be. I originally wrote that scene where she's supposed to call you Sweetness, but following advice given to me by Wolfie, which I'm glad she gave me this advice. It was actually a terrific piece of advice she gave me, to have Vinyl call you Sexy instead, depending on what you say to her.
Oh, right.
It comes off more comical than anything else, so that definitely is a factor in the game. It's not so much that you'll type in what you want to say, but you will be given a list of options that will be applicable to that situation, and you react in a way that you feel would be necessary. Or whatever outcome you wish to achieve, you choose the option that you believe will do that for you.
Right. Yeah, I did quite enjoy that little sort of demo tutorial thing that had that in it. I thought it was quite hilarious. In a typical Vinyl Scratch Tapes fashion, sort of comedy play there. But, let's see here. Got some more questions. Where will you be able to download it at? I'm assuming your website.
Rashi? That's all your problem, mate.
It'll probably have several different ways to download it. Probably, if I can get a torrent up and running, that'd probably be the best way. But file download services exist out there, so there'll probably be several different places in case one decides to hate us.
True. Torrent, you're speaking my language on that one. Let's see. Oh man, okay, I'm starting to see some really ridiculous questions. Let's see. Someone asked, are you having an intense argument with someone because you're typing pretty fast and evil-like?
I have the loudest keyboard on the planet. Literally, if anyone's ever played any of the old Rainbow Six games, you go to Hack Computer, you hear that noise. I've got the computer from that game.
It's true. I give him crap for it all the time.
He does.
Very tired of hearing it.
He does. It is
very intense.
At any one moment in time, because of my position in this team, I'm doing at least 4 things at once. As I'm interviewing with you guys right now, which I'm trying to give my full attention to, but there's a few issues I have to handle. My team is asking me some questions, and I have also the girlfriend asking questions. And unfortunately, I can ignore the team, but I can't ignore her.
Yes, indeed. Let's see. Okay, so I think this is a request, and maybe our lovely voice of Dr. Who's could shine some light on it at some point. But can you make the Doctor wear a fez at some point in the game, please? That'd be amazing.
What's really funny about that is that the Jam Jar, who does that voice, a fantastic job at it. The man he defines British.
It's true. It's totally true.
He'll tell you that too. His OC wears a fez. So a lot of our artwork comes from the Vector Club, because we only have 3 artists on staff. We credit the entire Vector Club. Everyone gets individual credit, of course. We don't steal anything. I don't have a Vector with him wearing a fez. If someone wishes to send me one, I'll put it in the game. If you can make me one and send it to me, sure. Go ahead.
Oh man, you heard that, my minions. Get on that. Send stuff. again, FillyGamez with a Z at gmail.com. Send that shit. And vectorness, or make a vector yourself. That'd be awesome. Or as another possibility, apply to join their team as a vector artist, because they need people like that.
We do need vectors and backgrounds, because there's a lot of custom work specific to the game that we need. I have 3 artists for us. Chloe, who just finished our new title screen, which we'll be unveiling very soon. The one we've shown before is a filler. This says "Welcome to Ponyville" on it. That's the big pink one. It's a postcard from Hasbro. It's just a filler one. It's not our official one. We have a very fantastic new one coming out very soon, and our next little promo that's coming out. I think everyone's going to enjoy it. It definitely sheds some light on the game. And then shed some light on an element of the game that I've intentionally made it to where no one realizes is there, but I think you're all going to love it. We've got Mytho, and who does some of our vectors for us. Again, fantastic. A gentleman named Lightning, who also is fantastic. So we've got 3 artists, but I need more. Unfortunately, I think they're all going to snap at me eventually. They keep asking me to do more and more and more. Like, hey, cool, you got that done? Now do this.
Here's 20 more things for you to draw.
Basically. I'm always worried that I'm going to push someone eventually, because there's so much we need done. And unfortunately, Rashi and myself are not in any way artists. I can't even draw a straight line.
I know all of those feels. I have about that. So, someone was wondering, the small question, is Smarty Pants going to be in the game?
I haven't taken her into account. Well, I've kicked the idea around. I don't have all the romance subplots thought out just yet. But I will. That's going in the notes right now, actually. I definitely can make that happen, and you know what? If I can get vectors of her, yes.
Awesome. You hear that, people? If you want it, you better provide. Let's see. Will Picture Perfect be in the game?
Picture Perfect. Is that... Which one is Picture Perfect? Is that Photo Finish?
That could be.
I know several characters have multiple names, so...
It's true. Respecify. Either in... I'm not reading the chat, so don't specify there.
I'm reading it. If that helps at all. If that helps anyone out there at all.
Okay. So if you do
yes, they're saying it is Photo Finish.
Okay, I see. Right.
Photo Finish will be in the game, of course.
Awesome.
She has to be. Fantastic character. I may have alternate reasons for saying that, but yes, she will be in there.
Wunderbar. Let's see. Will there be any... Okay. This is an interesting one that sort of goes back to your sort of questioning how much dark content you could possibly put in the game. Will there be any violence at all in any way?
I can't delve into if there is or is not darkness in the game. I can say there's a surprising element that we have intentionally orchestrated to where no one realizes it's in this game. As of this exact moment, we have presented this game to be something that is designed to look like all you do is derp around in Ponyville. There may be more to that than what we're actually allowing to meet the eye. I can't say. But as far as violence goes, I'm not into making anything gory. I like gory stories, don't get me wrong, but I like them. We prefer them in a world that is designed for that. Right. Rashi is actually editing a podcast for someone right now where they do a reading of the Silent Hill one, and being the sadistic SOB he is, sent me a recording of Rainbow Dash being apparently a very graphic scene, and for that he is no longer allowed to send me files. So no, none of that's going to happen.
You said you liked Silent Hill. I thought you'd like it.
I do, but I don't want to see it in ponies. There's a reference to it in the game, yes, and there's elements of, but you don't see Rainbow Dash get decapitated. That's not going to happen.
Oh man,
that would be terrible.
That didn't happen anyway.
Close enough. I still have not.
Let's see. So someone asked, will there be a teaser desktop wallpaper released soon?
Yes, actually. I can announce this, but I can only say so much. We have Chloe working on us right now. If anyone's familiar with the Balloon Party poster, the Balloon Party artist put together,
yes.
we're doing something very similar with our team. that we, if we go at the next BronyCon, we hopefully have some printouts of by then. But that definitely will be something we'll release to the public to download as a desktop, of course.
Awesome. Let's see. Ooh, this is sort of a good one. Now I know you mentioned that there wouldn't be a love triangle sort of a thing possible with characters like Princess Cadence and that other guy.
The other guy, yes, Shining Armor.
But is there any possibility to have sort of love triangles or three-way sort of relationships or greater within the game?
Are you asking me if it's not gay in a three-way?
Yes. Yes, I am.
There's not going to be anything like that. There'll be a very, very clearly defined moment in the game where you choose who you want to romance. Once you start that path, you can't get back out of it. But it's so clearly defined that it's not like I accidentally romanced this character. Well, there's no accidental to it. You have to consciously make this decision and physically do the action to go do it. So it's nothing you can do by mistake. So there's not necessarily any triangles or three ways or anything crazy like that happening. You choose one pony. It's meant to be more of a meaningful relationship than anything else. That is, again, entirely optional for those of you that hate the idea, but it's there for you to enjoy, and it definitely, the only consequence to not choosing to do the romances is that you will get different endings, slightly different endings.
And so
different endings to the game.
And so there's no divorce among ponies, but what? And this is sort of something I guess I just now thought about. What sort of possible I don't want to say confrontations. What sort of possible scenes or interactions, there we go, there's the word, with the sort of romanced characters once they've become romanced, essentially, is it possible to make them angry afterwards, or is there sort of this line that you sort of go beyond and you're like, well, that's not even a possible thing that you can do, is to make them angry after?
Once you've taken it to that extent, they're pretty much, whatever you say, they're down with it. You've already, by that time, you have to work your way through several levels of friendship, and the highest being that romantic level. And once you've worked your way up to that point, it's anything you say, they'll pretty much just agree with you. They may say things like, I don't know about this, but I trust your opinion. I trust you. That there won't really be any like, why didn't you take the trash out last night? I hate you. No, you're not going to have any of that.
Very, very good. Very good. So no sort of like, no cupcake incidents. No cupcake incidents where
I have not read it, and I don't think I want to.
Someone goes crazy. Just, I trusted you. Okay. And for some reason, the Andrew WK song is the only thing I can hear in my head now. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Okay.
Ready to die.
Let's see. Oh man, I know I've got other questions here. What? I am doubting this, but is there a possibility of cameos of Rule 63 ponies or gender swapped?
Rule 63, that is the cameo
there's
pony
male,
show
there's
swaps.
female.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, none of that.
Yeah. We'd be doing some crazy voodoo stuff at that point. That's a Dr. Woobs thing, I think.
Yeah, we're not quite doing that one.
Not quite crossing that threshold. Let's see. Will there be moments when you have to side with a certain group of ponies, which will increase your good points with every pony in that group, but then have a negative effect on another group who opposes them? And I'm assuming that is a yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Because we talked about that.
What are the first three letters of the word assuming?
Right?
I'm just giving you a hard time, mate.
Oh, because we talked about that earlier with the CMC. possibly like, oh, if you help the CMC, then maybe Rarity likes you, and then, but if you don't, then maybe, another group likes you instead. Very, very interesting.
There's rewards and consequences for most things you do in the game.
Yes.
Depends on what you want to do.
As there should be. Let's see here. What is your... Oh, okay. Finally, we get to a question that's actually non-game related. What, and this is for both of you, what is your favorite, or who, I think, rather, is your favorite main 6 pony, and who's your favorite background pony?
Ew, God. Rashi, you go first, mate.
I have never been able to pick.
Not even a background one?
It depends. It depends what episode I'm watching. I'd say as far as background goes. No, that one changes too.
Or if you
my
have
favorite my favorite background pony changes based on what comic or video I'm watching on YouTube.
Or if
Which
you have
voice
to, maybe
actress?
a small group of them, because even I have like, 2 or 3 that I'm like, these are probably my favorite, of the others.
It's a good question. Definitely my favorites for background. Probably my favorites are Lyra and Colgate, and that's more or less because of how they're portrayed in a lot of the fanfics I've been reading.
Yes, I too have had my choices of background ponies selected for me based on which fictions I have read. So what about you, Writer's Block?
For main 6, I have to lean towards Pinkie Pie. I find her to be the least aesthetically pleasing, and she looks kind of, kind of goofy with that fuzzy mohawk thing she's got going on, but there's no one more entertaining to watch than her. For background ponies, which voice actor am I talking to right now? No, background ponies, I have to say at this exact moment, I have to lean towards Lyra, solely because her random antics of jumping around in the background are great, unless you consider Nurse Redheart a background pony, in which case I'd go with Redheart. Or if you consider Luna a background pony, then Luna above all, but...
Yes, that is one of the sort of distinctions. You have main 6, you have, what I would consider to be minor or sort of outside main cast, and then you've got background ponies.
Definitive background pony. Cast to the shadows forever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even Lyra has apparently one line, even though I'm not entirely sure it was her or a changeling, but...
I love them. That's it. You're like, oh, great.
So, it's kind of hard to say. If Redheart's considered a background pony, as I suppose it would not be fair to call Luna one, I'd have to go with Nurse Redheart.
Interesting. Okay. Very good. Let me see what we recently passed our 2-hour mark, by the way, for all of you listening.
We're now officially past 5 hours for me and Shamrock.
Yep.
The viewing list has stayed about the same, I've noticed.
That's surprising,
It's
but
very
good.
It's gone up.
That's fantastic.
Normally by now we would have hit 90, plummeted to 40, and have come back to 90 and been back to 60. That's typically the trend.
doesn't love roller
There's
coasters?
exponential growth, and then there's exponential disgrowth, whatever the fuck, when it goes down.
Pretty much. Let's see. Scrolling through these questions. It's kind of funny because I literally have I'm skipping questions that have been listed more than once and everything, and I'm skipping silly questions, and they are still coming. I'm rather astonished, but I'm very proud of our chat for being able to supply me. I haven't hardly had to ask anything that I've made up myself. Let's see. Okay, I got that one already. Got that one. Will the pony who... Oh, okay. No, I'm not even going to ask that one.
Redundant questions.
Oh, okay. So this is quite a compliment. You guys are doing better at developing My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, then Hasbro and the Hub. Oh.
I had to mute my mic to stop the string of obscenities that will shocked obscenities that will come from my mouth.
What?
I don't. I have met Miss Faust, and I have to say that I don't think my writing comes within 1,000 yards of her by any means. That's a tremendous compliment. I don't even know what to say to that, but thank you. Please tell that to the people in the industry so that they will hire me.
That was Brony Born, by the way, who mentioned
Brony Born,
that.
you're awesome. Thank you.
Good old Brony
You're a great
Born.
mate.
So
Complimenting us and recording our interviews for 24 hours.
and donating money to us. We're gonna have to make this person like an honorary, like special person in the chat.
The name glows like a star.
Something like that.
Maybe I'll give him voice or something. Who knows?
Yeah, we should do that. Okay, so, excuse me. When you talk for 6 hours straight, sometimes your throat decides to start stretching itself. Obviously, you can have relationships with other ponies, but let's say you walk into Sugar Cube Corner. Okay, will you see other ponies actually from the show? Hold on, I have to reread what I just said. Will you see other
I get
ponies?
the gist, but
Will you see other ponies actually from the show dating based perhaps on past events?
no. There is. I have gotten questions due to our partnership with the Vinyl Scratch Tapes team about getting. Since I mentioned that Vinyl and Octavia are single in the game through no violent or hostile breakup whatsoever, I have mentioned that the two of them are available to the player. I can't guarantee I can do this, but I'm trying to figure out how to work it into the engine to where you could get them back together. So that's about the only option you have. If you'd like, mate, I'll make you a special scene just for you.
Oh man,
And I'll let Corey write it because he seems to excel at that kind of stuff.
he is very good, and it's funny too. It's like that kind of thing it's so weird because it's just like you have these people that you know that are like personal friends, and it would be sort of like them all just like creating this little thing to give because I know all of them that would be involved in that process, and it would be very hilarious. But let's see, I have to get my mind on some other questions here. Here we go. To answer the donation question, I don't know what this is coming from. I'm just going to read this. To answer the donation question, I think you can do that because Lester Radio does it, and they have not been. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's talking about taking donations and stuff from public and things like that. And he's right to say we do that. We take donations. Many other websites do the same thing, and I'm fairly certain because you're not actually selling a product, that taking donations on working on the project is not anything that's sort of, because when you're doing donations, for the most part, there's not really a paper trail, so to speak, so there's not really a way to be like, oh, you use that donation specifically for da-da-da. Well, you don't have an LLC or a LTD. You don't have a company. Basically, you have an organization, but it's not like a legal non-profit sort of thing. So you don't have that paper trail necessarily.
And the American IRS just clicked into the conversation.
Actually,
they're now listening on our streams, tracking all of us.
Hopefully, a little bit of expansion on that. If people really, really want to, I know I've got a tax lady I can talk to about it.
We could set that up, and for the record, if any donations were made, we would use them to buy fancy sports cars. No, any donations made would be used for project-related materials, like Rashi, you mentioned a few recording cards, things like that we could use that would help us out and help us in the production of further videos. That would be nice to be able to get that equipment to do more with the game and create more videos for you guys. We will definitely look into that. Rashi, that's more, if you know someone, then by all means, mate. That's going to be more you than me. I would like to point out, if anyone has questions that they don't feel are getting through, you can head to our website, FillyGamez.com, and our post there about Celestia Radio, you can ask them there. I am watching that page. If I see anything good, I'll, not that your questions are bad, but if I see anything that stands out, I'll try to answer it.
Yeah, if you see anything like large caps of, you know, will I be able to have sex with this character? Then that's something we really don't.
I'm not going to lie to you. One of the first comments we ever got on our first tech demo, someone asked us if they could do various actions to Fluttershy and still be mean to everyone.
Well,
like, what game do you want me to make?
Love is magic, obviously.
There's a market for everything.
It's so true.
This is true.
It's so
Again, no shots aimed at Love is Magic whatsoever. We'd love to talk to them and cooperate with them. They're a great group of team from what I've seen.
Indeed.
And they've even got Lauren Goodnight, who is a good friend with the Jam Jar, who Jam says nothing but good things about her, so I'm sure their entire team is a terrific group of people.
She is great. I know Lauren as well, relatively personally, but she used to come on my show all the time when I was doing college radio still, and we would chat. And she's was semi-professional voice actress for a time, doing voice acting for different animes and stuff. Trying to think of one of the most popular people might be familiar with. She was in like D and Angel. People might be familiar with that. She was in that.
Really?
And, yep.
I'm familiar with that, actually. I didn't realize she was one of the actors in that. That's fantastic. I own that.
I'm sure something. Yeah, I'm sure something minor, but yeah, you should look into the credits or look at her discography or something and see. But but yeah, we also work on a Sirius satellite radio station that's in development as well. But super awesome. Her show actually that she runs right now for 8-Bit X, I think is the name of the website. They do like podcasts and radio stuff. That she does is called 8-Bit Sex, and she does it every Friday night. It's a sex therapy talk show. It's great. It's so great. It's pretty
You're
awesome.
really not helping that non-Klopvik image of ours, mate. Thank you. Kidding. By the way, FillyGamez, not a Klopvik. Here's some sex stuff. Thanks, guys.
Yep,
now,
totally.
This next section brought to you by Adam and Eve.
This, oh man, brought to you by Trojan. Make sure and wear proper condoms. Okay, now that we've done that, let's move on to the next question that I have, which is here somewhere. It's unfortunate, Firebolt, who probably isn't awake, but whenever he does become awake, we need to figure out something with Twix, our bot that gives us messages, because when I'm staring at a screen that's just black text, I lose my place so many times because I have to ask a question, I look away and I look back and there's 5 more questions. I'm like, shit, where was I? And if we could somehow rainbow color code that, it would be fantastic.
No, I happen to know a tech guy that can do that kind of stuff.
That would be awesome.
You might have heard of him. His name is Rashi.
We do have a number of IRC, mods that do create the bots and that know their way around that stuff. But yeah, I definitely want that to be made possible because it is infuriating the number of times I've lost my place.
Lost your place there. Try dealing with 500 lines of script.
Yeah,
I don't want to do this.
I know what you mean, dude. I've had to.
I'm just kidding around.
Not that I've written 500 pages or anything, but I have written scripts, and they suck.
Even if Notepad++ tracks the lines by number for you, it doesn't really make it too much easier. It's still a challenge at times.
Pretty
Especially
much.
when you go to run a scene. So for whatever reason, Big Macintosh gets stuck on the screen and follows you around the whole game. And you spend the next hour and a half figuring out why that happened.
I find
Oh
it
my God.
hilarious that you're talking about what is essentially plain English.
I realize this, but nonetheless,
Nonetheless.
you saw that error. We don't know why it happened. We still don't know what went wrong with that.
I just don't know what went wrong.
Which I would like to point out, when the game comes out, we will have a tech support section on our website for any questions you have. The biggest thing I can point out, this is the biggest problem we have found. You must have the latest version of DirectX to make the game run. If it's not running, that's probably the why.
It's probably the only reason why. Like I said, it will run on anything.
Except
Great.
Max.
Except for Macintosh.
Hey,
Well-
Rash, by the way, mate, forget, I saw that comment. Screw you too.
Don't
He
Oh,
posted in our team chat. Who cares about WB anyway?
Lol.
He's a great guy, let me tell you.
Let's see. To reconfirm, I do get questions a lot of people repeating old ones. Yes, Octavia is in the game.
Of course.
Something. Someone changed their name to answer my question. That is a great name to have if you do not want me to answer your question. Just kidding. I'm only trolling. But they might be trolling me back as well. Will there be Slender Mayor in the game?
I know everyone's going to hate me for this. Until about a week ago, I didn't even know what that was. That was actually pointed out to me by Corey from the Vinyl Scratch tapes.
Oh man.
I was like, oh, that's what that is. So that's an interesting idea, but it wouldn't really make sense to the story. I do have something in there that might be very entertaining and a similar level. I can't say, but Slender Pony will not be in the game.
Let's see. Any chance? Sorry. Any chance that some of us in the chat could help out with writing in a way?
The writing's actually the thing I need the least. Just because I go to the Jam Jar and Corey Williams for creative feedback on anything I'm not really sure about, and I do listen to we do listen to our testing team. If there's a character that isn't portrayed correctly, or if they don't think this is what the character would do, I go back and I fix that. I've actually, as I explained to Miss Lauren Faust when I met her, most of the characters in Friendship is Magic are fairly easy to write because they've been developed for us so well by Hasbro and Lauren Faust. They're so well developed. They're fairly simple to write and figure out what they would do. The biggest challenge comes in. I can tell you the biggest challenge I faced so far was writing Dr. Hooves, as I'm not familiar with the show, and Cloud Chaser, as she has no canon personality. I had to figure out what in the world is Cloud Chaser doing in Ponyville in the first place. That was a challenge, and I thank Corey for actually sitting down with me one day and listening to my terrible, terrible ideas for that, helping me find the right idea to run with her.
Awesome. Awesome.